I was just thinking about this situation. I was thinking about when they were like, you shouldn't, when they said you shouldn't, it was in 2020 when I heard about them doing this kind of stuff and putting people, it's already getting caught up, this stuff coming to the light. Diddy was just the beginning of it. Diddy was just the beginning of it. Diddy was just the beginning of it. But it's like all these little foundations is coming apart. And it was like I told y'all, I said, God said, if they knew who you was, they wouldn't have never done this. So it was like, I take it high priests and high priestesses are born in a more different situation, a more state, like a better state, a better situation. They normally probably ain't, they normally probably don't be in a situation like mine. And if they are, I don't know, they high priests, so it's probably rarely that you would see them online. You probably wouldn't even see them online. And but anyway, like I said, when they put me in this situation, it was a dude. It was a dude that signed, the dude who signed me up for it, swore up and down I wasn't the person because I was nice to him. You know, around here, if you're nice, you're weak. They don't know about the energies. And that's how you can tell people who don't know energy real good. If they automatically assume somebody that's nice is weak and take advantage of them, they don't know energy. And the sad part about that is even some card readers are like that. I don't know how you can read cards and don't know energy. Whether you a conduit or not, you still supposed to know energy. You shouldn't even be able to be a card reader if you don't know energy. But even some card readers are like that. They'll use the card to find the energy that they feel somehow. That's what's crazy about it. They'll use cards to find energy they want to attack and attack the energy. You didn't, I thought you read the cards to find the energy. Why would you attack the energy? You know what I'm saying? Because even the energy, what I learned about cards, even the energy that's in a bad situation are still powerful energy. And it looked like they're being dismantled, not all the time, but sometimes they're being, when I used to watch cards, I ain't watched cards in a while. I don't have to no more. It was like, I don't know, it was like a group of people who was involved in my situation and God just needed that attention on them. I told you, these eyes, bro, this the gift. The horse eyes, raw eyes. But anyway, so it's like, God was like, they'll know not to they'll know not to deal with you. They'll know not to do that, whatever. But anyway, in this situation, it was still meant to be because it brought to light what was going on. Because these people, this little group thing, a lot of great people done been deceased because y'all are under the scope now. You know, y'all know it. I just hate it, and everybody else hate it, that it look like the people look like us that's doing this, that's hurting our people, that's sacrificing our people. So you got more than a lawsuit to worry about. A lawsuit is your best chance of even thinking about getting out of. If you part of this situation and the worst thing that you could be facing is a lawsuit, that's your best thing to get into. You need to go ahead and go with that lawsuit and be thankful that that's it. Be thankful that's it. Because them ancestors out for blood. They out for blood. Like I said, Diddy was the beginning of it. So this whole thing was going to be tore down anyway when everybody seen Diddy get taken down. Everybody should have stopped. These basements, all this stuff, this is over. It's over. It caused too much harm to the neighborhood. It ain't about the money at this point. It's about the suffering of many who. It's about those who are suffering, who did nothing, who had nothing to do with none of this stuff, who stayed out of everybody's way. Good people, good kids, children are suffering, parents are suffering, older people suffering, elderly people suffering, young people suffering. Somebody, when you sacrifice these high vibrational beings, you sacrifice their energy. Like I said, their energy is humans that's involved in their energy. It's beings in their energy that these high vibrational beings have yet to come across and are meant to come across. So you sacrifice their energy. You sacrifice everybody. A lawsuit is your best bet to embrace humbly. I guess y'all gotta soothe one another, but honey, it ain't gonna work, y'all. I'm sorry. Y'all ain't street like you thought you were. Everything come back around the street. That's why none of us want to play in it. Those of us who was in the street was forced to be in the street, but immediately we got out the street. Like my situation, I ain't gotta call up a lawyer. My ancestors gonna send me the lawyer by here when it's time for them to talk to me. Because you stole an inheritance, like I said, some kind of format plan that goes with this thing that's under surveillance, like by the high table. Let's just say that. One thing about the high table, they take care of each other whether they in the slums or not somehow. They watch over each other somehow. And you been under surveillance. So let's go back to what I was saying when they said you should never sacrifice a high priest or high priestess. They accidentally put me in it. Was it an accident? I say nothing an accident. I think God meant for it to happen. So all this could stop, all this corruptness could stop. Because at this point, it's starting to change the energy of the earth atmosphere. So God had to make it stop. It had to stop. And some higher ups knew it had to stop. So all this is taking place. I'm pretty sure the higher ups telling all their people in their energy to stay out of this energy while it's taking place. And they probably helping from the outside because it's got to be fixed, y'all. What I'm trying to say is when they throw the high priest in the situation, however the high priest got caught up in the situation, it was meant to be put in this situation by God itself. And I was asking myself too when I heard about this in 2020, a high priest, a high priestess, why you can't do a high priest, a high priestess? And you can get a bunch of people that think they're smart together. They're gonna think you could do anybody. This works on anybody. You can't do a high priestess because a high priestess, that's why God told me if they knew who you were, they wouldn't even touch you. Because for one, you don't even know who a high priestess is. A high priestess or a high priest could be Khnum, Jehudi, Bastet, can be any of those people. So you are screwed royally because those people don't even got to see you. Those people ain't got to watch you. Those people ain't got to look for you. Those people ain't got to look for justice to help them. Those people automatically waltz with justice. In this situation, we're going to all learn especially my people, how to truthfully start believing in justice righteously, the right way again. Because injustice was meant to fail anyway. Injustice was going to fail anyway. Injustice was going to collapse anyway. Because injustice is not real anyway. Justice is already birthed from spiritual justice. Do you think the spiritual people gonna put something into place when it's irrelevant? There's order. order to frequencies, order to vibration. It ain't about what you want and who you think it should be and who you think should have it. It's about having order in the vibration of frequency. So spiritual justice is vitally important. So it ain't gonna be me that's pressing the lawsuit on y'all. And it ain't gonna be anybody that's in this position that's getting y'all by the laws. Y'all own ancestors gonna see that they get justice from what y'all did. Because it's like these high priests or high priestess, your ancestors belong to them more than they belong to you. Now do we get it? All I had to do is sit back. I know everybody who is involved, and I have yet to say y'all name the right way fully. Some of y'all are on social media. Some of y'all are card readers. But we want to sit back and watch the answer. I want to see this play out too. I want to see how this works. Because I ain't playing chess or checkers. I'm sitting up here with God watching the game. I left the finish line a long time ago. It ain't nothing that the world can give me that I'm waiting for. God came and got me a long time ago. I'm playing the game with God. Anyone who can explain this mechanism like I can, y'all should have been running. But that's that gift I got. Sometimes when you bind it to these floats, even if you're the smartest, brightest person, somehow your IQ just got real low. I told you one of my main enemies that been bothering me since I was 4. Supposed to have graduated Illuminati. So I'm more than prepared, overly prepared. Imagine being a pawn in somebody grown hand that graduated Illuminati. And they just been torturing you your whole life and you're 40 years old today and you're not dead? I don't think education can get no better than that. So you know all the friends of hers that participated were just as bright as she was, if not brighter. Military people, anybody. And I ain't singing not military people because I like military people. I love military people. My grandpa was an underwater welder Marine. So I love it. But anyway, I'm enjoying the show. I'm enjoying the game. So what I want to say is this is right here. Let's get back to this high priest. So I was like, how do that work though? Because I studied these energies, and these energies mostly humble, stay to themselves, don't bother with nobody, and none of that. So I was like, how in the hell is these people gonna get any justice? They ain't even paying attention to the injustice. That's the thing. They don't have to, because the energy that resides in that vessel is overly qualified to the point to where the vessel itself can act like it ain't paying no attention. Sit back and observe, everybody, and enjoy the show. That's what I figured, because these people could see, when the guy showed me on a small scale, I never could figure it out. Like I said, I thought I was moving up ranking in the hood. That didn't have nothing to do with it. I was nothing in the hood. It was God the whole time. It was the energy that this vessel was holding, that's protecting this vessel. So to those of you who do got a lawsuit and scared of a lawsuit, that's the least of your worries. I will thank God if all this done came to surface and all you are scared of is a lawsuit coming around. Because I would try to work on fixing that myself, because I done heard of worse situations that's finna come around, on worse problems that's way worse. A lawsuit? A lawsuit? A lawsuit is nothing. A lawsuit is nothing. This is beyond a lawsuit. So anybody who is nervous about a lawsuit in this situation, that's the least of your problem, trust me. I haven't heard nothing about no lawsuit. I've been hearing, you don't want to hear what I've been hearing about. And I've been watching it go down peacefully with my Father God. Y'all got these little groups and y'all was sitting here. I heard these little groups, y'all are being watched and targeted for many lives. Not just this situation, the lives that were caught up in them hotels in the city and in these different cities. The lives that was the people who lost their lives in the commodity world. You know what I'm saying? The people who lost, y'all are under the scope for major. You can't even imagine. My situation is nothing. Since somebody throwed a high priest, see y'all, now we see, you see I can go back to it now. Now we see whatever games y'all were playing, y'all own people that's over these games said, no matter who you do this to, you cannot do this to a high priest or high priestess. Because see, they got eyes all around them. None of y'all would be nothing. You wouldn't even have your usefulness if it wasn't for your ancestors. So just imagine if somebody, you torture somebody and you automatically turn off the help of your ancestors. It's a couple people they turned off yesterday. Y'all was new and acting like you was on my side, but my ancestors caught you slipping. Now you're on the other side. And we're gonna sit back and observe. Cause that's all I've been doing. Those of you who was supposed to so-called been on my side, thankfully I got God, and God tell me immediately when I think you're on my side that you're really not on my side, but I can observe you as long as I can until I get tired. Because you're just gonna give me a message and give my enemy the opposite message, acting like you right and you know everything, but we already figured you out and you been out of time. Some of y'all already done turned into cats. Somehow you just still in your vessel. So, anyway, you can tell when your energy is going backwards into an animal, because instead of you acting like a human and instead of you acting like an angel, you start acting like an animal with your own vessel. Like I tell you, this ain't the Terror Dawn or the funeral home. But, like I said, this is a float. And a lot of y'all need to worry. It's a lot of floats out there. And it's a lot of young ones that's starting to learn about these floats. Good, bright. You need to worry about where these floats go to. Y'all, I'm telling you, if you connected, if you stuck your claws in a float, if you stuck your claws or your teeth in a high priest, you stuck your claws or your teeth into a float. Now do we see the energy? Now do we get how it go? Now do we see how it go? I hear John and a Gina following each other. Now do we see how it go? A John and a Gina following each other. Now do we see how it go? Remember now, the Astro got nicknames too. They got jokes. How do I know these things? Let me tell you something. Everybody be like, oh, he just kind of get information from them. I ain't never seen such a day. But I will tell you this. It would be better if I got my information from an op than God itself. Because when God turned his energy around, just to focus on a group, just to focus on an organization, just to focus on an individual, you have yourself a problem. Because if the simple justice system in the physical or op in the physical got their eyes on you, that's just that op. You can pay that op off. You can pay that op to be a cricket op. Easily, probably. You can entice that op sexually, easily, probably. But when the justice in the spiritual, when God itself got his eyes on you and your group, the whole justice in the physical and in the spiritual is watching you. Now I'm showing you the orderly fashion of energy. I'm showing you in perfect synchronicity to the point to where you know you ain't escaping this. Fear should overwhelm you. And it is, and it already have overwhelmed you, I know. Y'all didn't get away with nothing. There's a reason why the leaders of your groups told you, you thought you could get together, you thought you were smart enough to trap God itself. You stopped believing in God a long time ago. You forgot that the air you breathe, you can't see, touch, or hear. In other words, the ancestors worked the same way as well. Y'all still stealing from somebody. It's like y'all praying to God, please God, pretty please God, God please, whatever you do, God send me straight to hell. Silly rabbits. Tricks is for kids. Now, let's explain this a little bit further. Let's go back. It's almost over. Let's go back. So the high priest and high priestess, my people, no, leave them alone. And this situation that you put me in a movie in, this situation that you put me in a box in, this situation that you put me in a situation to laugh at me and humiliate me, this situation that put me on display so the whole world can see, this situation is the situation that God wanted the whole world to see so my people can stop being non-believers. And for those of you who's straddling the fence and trying to play both sides, do not text me no more. Quit embarrassing yourselves. At least at this point, in the streets we even say it is, at this point, it's when the person get to the point where they need to turn themselves in, at least at this point, stand up straight. Because the scope has already been on you. Once God is watching you, when God turn around, y'all don't get it, do you? When God turn around and look at you, the universe turns around and look at you. The spiritual justice turns around and look at you. The physical justice turns around and look at you. Hell turns around and look at you. Heaven turns around and look at you. Y'all helped us out. My situation, I didn't give a damn about how you tortured me. All I care about, I was worried about, you know what I was praying about in 2018 and 2020? God, please don't let another celebrity get murdered. And I ain't never met none of them. I was praying my heart out. I said, they're going down the road killing everybody, all my brothers and sisters. Just to find out we've been getting set up by our own brothers and sisters. I thank God for this moment because it put the scope on all you who act like you are our brothers and sisters, but actually genetically modified organisms of our brothers and sisters to look like us. Y'all ain't never liked us. Y'all ain't never loved us, and you can't stand us. And you make sure you blame all your problems in your situation, your bad times in your life on us. And you made sure our life was a living hell, and we have never even met some of y'all. This is the Get Out movie. Now in the second Get Out movie, it's gonna show how they had to turn that life back over to the original. It'll be the sequel. And don't ever do it again.